Hello there, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. It is my goal to ease your journey to Chap Nirvana. And in that mission, which I have, I often respond to questions from people who drop me a query, and such is the case today. Iradia Calens has written to me and said, I have a question if you don't mind. Of course, sir. It's my pleasure to assist. Don't forget, anybody who has a question for me can either drop it into the comment section below or send me an email directly. And you will find my email address in the About section on the main YouTube page. So, his question is, do I need to dress up for formal events if I am already wearing suits, sports jackets, ties, etc. every day? If yes, how do I do that? I'm not speaking about a black tie event, but something like a job interview, public speaking event, presentation, etc. I hope I make myself clear. Well, I think you do. Basically, what you're saying is, if you go through life as an intentionally well-dressed man, and then you get a special occasion to go to, a special event, how do you up your game? Because you're already at the standard that most people will be aiming for when they go to such an event. How do you then stand out a little further from the crowd? It's a good question, and one which many of us will have to encounter. Well, for me, the answer should be relatively simple, yet the outcome will be such that people around you will notice you've gone to that little bit of extra effort and you will stand out from the crowd. So in my sort of situation, I often wear clothing as I am today, blazer, shirt, tie. So how do I up the game if I'm going to a special event? Or maybe I'm going to a job interview or something where I want to just turn the volume level up to 11 just so that I look that little bit better. Well, the secret is not to add anything to the clothing that you're wearing, and then you risk looking as if you're sort of just piling things on to try and draw the attention. The secret is to make the most from the items that you're already wearing. That's the key. It's about just going into the detail, because as we know, particularly when it comes to men's style, the devil is very much in the detail of your clothing. Don't forget, when you're chasing the title of being the best dressed man in any room or any situation, the winner is often declared as the person who spent the most time on the detail of their clothing, rather than the person who's just gone out and thrown money at the situation. Just because you're wearing premium quality or luxury quality clothing and accessories doesn't mean to say you will be the best dressed man in the room. The person who is intentionally well dressed, who's taken the time to think, prepare, and just fine tune their ensemble of clothing, will be the one who shines from the herd, who will glow amongst the dullness of their contemporaries. So, let us talk about what I would do to turn up that volume level just to make sure that I've elevated my style level to this special occasion or special event that we're attending. Okay, let's start with the big items first. The item which is obviously going to draw the most in your situation is going to be your suit. It covers the most volume of your body, so it's the thing which will be most noticeable to people. And it's actually, the suit is one of the easiest things to get right when it comes to dressing well. Because if you're wearing, say, a navy blue suit or a charcoal grey suit, that's pretty much what most gentlemen wear most of the time. You might have a special suit with a bit of a pattern to it or a bit more texture, but all suits tend to have similarity in many regards. They're either 2 or 3 piece, they're either, 2 or 3 buttons. How do you make yours look a bit better? How do you draw the attention to it? Well, for me, first of all, let's break the iron out, shall we? Because I hate to see a man wearing a lovely suit and there is creases in it, there are wrinkles in it, and particularly the trousers. The trousers haven't seen an iron for a long time. We want to see a razor sharp crease down the front and the back of your trousers, because this shows you've taken some time preparing yourself for this situation. It's very hard to make a suit, dress up really, but you put that iron down the front of the trousers and it looks good. Get to grips with ironing your suit trousers on a regular basis. Always use an ironing cloth. Never place the iron directly against the suit trousers because you run the risk of scorching the material or causing fading or a shininess being caused on the material of the trousers by repeated ironing. Always use a nice simple cotton ironing cloth. Use some water, dampen it down to build the steam which creates the creasing. But go to town and get a crease in the trousers. And when it comes to the jacket, always hang your jacket up properly in a wardrobe so it shouldn't have creases anyway. You're not the sort of person who would sling it on the back of a chair so it loses its integrity and gets wrinkled. But just in case you have, get your iron out and iron everything nice and smooth so it looks good. And another tip for you, if you are going to a special event and you are wearing a suit, when you're standing up, keep it buttoned, all right, as I am now. A suit is designed to look its best when it's buttoned. Know the rules when it comes to social etiquette. Always leave the bottom button undone on your suit. If you've got a 2-button suit, always leave the bottom button unfastened. If it's a 3-button suit, still always leave the bottom button unfastened. Same goes for your waistcoat. But do your jacket up when standing. When sitting down, obviously unbutton your jacket for comfort, but your jacket and your all-over look will be noticeably improved if you get in the habit of keeping it buttoned when you're standing. Now, one step further closer to the body is, of course, your shirt. When it comes to special events, for me, I limit myself to one simple shirt, and it's the one that I'm wearing now, a plain white shirt. It is the perfect blank canvas for everything else which will accompany your clothing. In a moment we'll talk about the accessories, but for the accessories to shine, they need a simple background, and the plain white shirt is the perfect place to go. When I say white, I mean sparkling white. This is not an old dowdy shirt which has come from the back of your wardrobe, which is many years old, which has lost its pizzazz of its colour, right? I want to see a shirt which is looking super white, something that you've washed in a whiteness enhancer, and it looks its very best. You can tell if a white shirt is dull and greying and has not been looked after properly. So for a special occasion, make sure your shirt, it's the first time you've worn it, it's freshly ironed, of course, goes without saying. We never wear a shirt which has not been ironed, and it really looks its best, because although its job is just a supporting act, it's going to be the background for the items which come next. Certainly, it'll be noticeable. Keep it nice, simple, white, and you won't go wrong. Well, I've alluded to it. Let's talk about the next item. Of course, it's the tie. All right, the tie is really something which draws the eye. It's right below your face. It tends to have a bit of colour to it, and it's the thing which will draw attention. In fact, in many ways, even if you're wearing a fancy suit, it's the tie which will draw the eye. So it's important to get it right. If we're going to a special occasion, maybe a sports club dinner or something of that nature, if you own a tie which is relevant to that event, so if it's a rugby club, a football club, if you're a veteran and you're going to a veterans gathering or anything of that nature, make sure you pull that tie out of your collection and wear it to the event. It'll be noticed. Everybody else will see that you're a member of the club, and it'll be an opening gambit for a conversation. But wear the tie which is appropriate to the event that you're going to. If no such tie exists, well, choose a tie which is complementary to your clothing, but also cheerful in manner. All right? Nobody wants to see a black tie or a grey tie in a happy event. We want to see a bit of colour. Remember, the tie is the expression, the embodiment of your character and personality. Use it as an opportunity to glow up your clothing. Bring a bit of colour, a bit of texture. bit of pattern. But don't go nuts, all right? Don't be wearing things which are so overwhelming in their manner that they're going to overshadow everything else you're wearing. Think conservative with a twist. As I say, think about turning up the volume of how you would normally dress and just turn it up a few clicks. Be a bit braver. Now for me, a colour which often works if I'm going to a social event, particularly if I'm wearing a charcoal grey suit, is silver. Silver is a great colour when it comes to, just adding a bit of zap, bit of zest to your clothing. And it's so easy to wear. It fits in with many other colours, looks great with a white shirt, looks great with a grey suit, and pretty much any colour of grey suit. A silver tie really brings home the bacon. Now while we're up at the top half of the body, the other thing which often draws the eye, bit of a hint here, is the pocket square. Now obviously the pocket square is not for everyone. I know lots of men are uncomfortable with this sort of ebullient flash of colour, but the reality is it's definitely a way of bringing the party into your outfit. And a pocket square is so cheap, so easy to wear. It's an item, an accessory, which you can't overlook, in my opinion. So how do you choose one? Well, pick a colour which complements something about your outfit. Never wear a pocket square which is exactly the same as your tie. That's considered a bit passé, but always pick one which is cheerful. And in my particular case, I'm wearing a sort of motifed red tie from Turnbull and Asser, and this is just a simple, predominantly red in appearance silk pocket square in a puff pattern I've thrown into the pocket. And you can see that there is a marriage between these two colours, yet they're not made from the same material, so there is a bit of difference going on there. Wear a pocket square to really bring some fun to your outfit. You can, bring some colours which you wouldn't perhaps ordinarily wear, and it'll really, make it look as if you're definitely trying to up the level. And just keep it simple. If you're not comfortable, go white as ever. If you're not happy with too many colours, or you don't own a colourful silk pocket square, get your linen or your cotton handkerchief out, put that in the pocket. It's going to go with whatever clothing you've got, yet it turns up that volume. Simple way of achieving the outcome we're seeking. And whilst we're still in this part of the body, because remember, this is the important part here, because when we meet people, this is what they're going to look at. They're going to look at your face. Normally they will look at your eyes, and then what's around the upper part of your body is what will draw the attention. And for me, the one area not to be overlooked is a lapel badge. Now, again, a bit like the tie, if you have the opportunity, you can make it relevant to the situation you're going to. If there isn't a club tie, but there's a club badge, lapel badge, wear that instead. If it's a charity event and you own a badge relating to the charity, wear the charity. Veterans event, wear a miniature version of your regimental badge. Whatever is appropriate, you can use it to add that extra level of volume to your outfit, which will bring the attention. And if you've got the opportunity, and if it matches, wear something again which is colourful, cheerful, and draws the attention. It's always worth it. It's a tiny, tiny thing, but people notice it. You will be amazed how many times people have approached me in a social situation because I'm wearing one of my many lapel badges and said to me, "Ooh, I see you're a follower of such and such a charity, or you support such and such a club or group," because they do also, and it's the opening to a interesting conversation in many occasions. So worth the effort, even though it's such a tiny thing. Now, as we've moved up and down the body, there's one place I haven't talked about yet, and that's where the rubber meets the road in our footwear, our shoes, all right? Because, we're going to be wearing nice shoes all the time. We're intentionally well-dressed men. We'll be wearing nice dress shoes on a day-to-day basis. How do we enhance the level of those shoes so that they look party worthy or worthy of a job interview, where we know we are going to be scrutinized by the people that we meet, and little things like our footwear is going to make all the difference. Well, for a start, let's begin with the basics. Make sure your shoes are going to be clean, all right? We've polished them that day, especially for the event. For me, part of my ritual of preparing for a special occasion is to get the shoes or boots out and give them a once over with the polish. Even if they've previously been polished, it's part of my ritual. I know that it's been done to the highest level, so they're already clean. But of course, we are chasing the title of the best dressed man in this room that we're going to. Of course we are, even if it's a job interview. I want to be better dressed than the men or women who are interviewing me, because I want them to know I can be, if nothing else, exceptionally presentable in my appearance. I don't even have to say a word to score that point, because they can see it visibly. So in my shoes, I will bring them up to a mirror shine. Now, obviously it depends on the shoes you're wearing, but typically you'll be wearing a black cap to Oxford, a semi-brogue or a brogue. All of these shoes can benefit from a mirror shine. If you're wearing a black shoe, if it's a formal event, even better. The mirror shine is more noticeable. But if you're deciding to wear a brown shoe because of the nature of the situation, again, bring it up with a shine. It's relatively easy to get a mirror shine on pretty much any good quality leather which isn't grained leather, which hasn't got a grained or textured outer surface. But if it's a smooth leather, get that shine on it. It will be noticed, believe me. Again, the number of times people have said to me, wow, look at those shoes. You've been in the army? It's the question they ask. And what they're saying is, those shoes are so shiny, you must have got a background in exquisite attention to detail. It's meant as a compliment. If you don't know how to mirror shine your shoes, have a look back at some of the videos that I've created on this channel showing the mirror shining of shoes from scratch. It's not difficult, it doesn't cost anything, it's the same polish that you've got anyway, it's just a new technique to learn, and you can sparkle, literally. Your shoes can be the star of the show. So, make them clean, make them shine, and you will draw the eye of the people around you. And finally, your personal grooming, all right, is the final touch, because whilst all of your clothing can be immaculate and perfectly coiffured, the thing that may let you down is yourself. Right? Remember, if we're going out to an event in the evening, right, what I always do is shave in the evening. I don't shave in the morning of that day, because your stubble, your bristles will grow as the day goes on, and you'll get that unpleasant 5 o'clock shadow. So if it's an evening event, I save my shave of the day until I'm getting ready to go out, so I look absolutely clean cut as I could possibly be. And well, it goes without saying, but we want to have a really good wash, scrub and brush up before we get dressed, so that we're not looking grubby. We've not got the sort of the detritus of the day around us. We want to look our very, very best. And finally, remember, when we meet somebody, all of the senses are involved. They see you, they hear you. They can't touch you, but what they can do is smell you. The olfactory sense is a really important part of the human experience. You know what I'm going to say? Choose a nice cologne. Something which is pleasant, which you enjoy wearing, but not too overwhelming. All right, so I've got a large cologne collection of various aftershaves and eau de toilettes and eau de perfumes. Some are a little bit more dominant than others. Some I wear when I want to boost my personality and feel my very best. And there are others which I know work very well in a party environment, because they're cheerful, but they're conservative. They're not going to ram my fragrance down your nose. Choose a fragrance which is appropriate for the situation you're going to. If you're going for a job interview, I would suggest that you wear a fragrance which is pleasing, office appropriate, not too dominant. I'm going to say my choice would be something like Floris number 89. Classic, elegant, timeless. If it's a party environment and you're going to be in a room where there are many people, and let's be honest, many of the men will probably be wearing powerful colognes as well, right? You can up that volume scale a little bit more. Wear something with a bit more punch. Now, I'll leave it to you. There are many out there, but my favourite is Chanel Antaeus. It's a classic. It's from the 1980s. It still packs a punch, but it is elegantly timeless. So, pick a fragrance and they'll remember you as well. So there we go. Those are my tips to improve your level of formality, so to speak, or to make yourself, special event appropriate, but actually without adding party hats and streamers, all right? What we're doing is just turning up the volume of what we are normally wearing on a day-to-day basis and just glowing it up a little bit. Remember, it's not about what you wear, it's about how you wear it and your attention to detail, which will find you achieving that status that we seek of being the best dressed man in the room. And you will have improved confidence and people will see you for what you are, a truly, intentionally well-dressed man. So there we go. Iradia, I hope you have found that of some assistance in your question. If you have enjoyed the video, of course, I would encourage you to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click the red button, join us as a subscriber. And if you'd like to positively support the channel, you can buy me a coffee. If you go to the show notes below, you will find the link to the Buy Me a Coffee page. That would be very generous of you. So until the next time, when you're going to a special event, party, social function, job interview, giving a presentation in the office, and you just want to turn that volume up, you now know what to do. So until the next time, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again very soon.